Today on Teach Me How to Vegan, we're actually starting an exciting series on the podcast called The Future is Vegan. We want to hear from young vegans, hear their stories, let them share their wisdom.
I think it makes you more aware. Most people don't have this awareness that things happen. I had a friend who didn't know that the greenhouse effect was on Earth. And when I explained it to him, he was like, wait, how do we fix it? How do we stop it? Because that's going to mess up the whole thing. Because he's smart, but he didn't know it existed. And so there's a certain awareness that people need that I feel like we could share with people. And then again, forgiveness, forgiving them for not knowing that it existed or not knowing that you're contributing to it. Veganism helps open up the awareness, and then you could be more aware and then have a better understanding of what's happening. Most people would probably be more compassionate if they understood and knew how they could help.
Welcome to Teach Me How to Vegan,
a podcast where we explore how to switch to a vegan diet.
I'm Tony, a health educator, fitness instructor, and plant-based eating program manager for Animal Protection of New Mexico.
I'm Mickey, a stay-at-home homeschooling mom and vegan cook who likes to play in the kitchen.
Our family stopped eating meat in 2007.
And we went vegan in 2016. Now we like to share with others what we've learned.
Thanks for joining us.
Let's get started.
Welcome to the show, everyone. As always, thank you for joining us. Today, we are once again giving Mickey the day off, and we're excited to welcome a very special guest. We're actually starting an exciting series on the podcast called The Future is Vegan. We want to hear from young vegans, hear their stories, hear their voices, let them share their wisdom with us as we explore this topic of going vegan and learning how to vegan. Research actually shows, the younger generations have much higher numbers of vegans. So when you compare, for example, Gen X to millennials to Gen Z, it seems that there's more and more vegans in each age group, higher percentages. So we're excited to start this series. And to kick it off, we are welcoming no other than our son, Constantine, to the show. Thank you for being with us.
Yeah, sure. Hello. I'm excited.
Excited to be here?
Yeah, I've never done a podcast in my life. I only listen to them.
Awesome. So now you get to be on the opposite side.
Yeah.
See what it feels like.
It's going to be cool.
I just want to say I'm excited to have you, not only because you're my son, but, we've spent a lot of time talking about you.
Really?
Yeah.
I was not aware of this information.
You were,
Well, I mean, just in passing.
Yeah, we talk about you all the time.
Cool.
So now, instead of us just talking about you, you get to actually share your voice and talk about yourself and share your experiences from your perspective, because we've shared them from our perspective, some of your experiences.
Cool.
All right. So just to start off, for people who haven't listened to all of our glorious talk about you throughout the episodes, let's start off with a little information about you. So how old are you?
I'm 14.
All right. Tell me a little bit about yourself. Interests, hobbies, favorite things.
Okay. So I like movies, video games, books, Legos, all the cool things, nerd stuff like comics and Star Wars and Ninja Turtles. I'm really interested in being a professional dancer. So and I also like music, mainly hip hop and rap, like my father. And
good taste.
yeah, and I want to be a ballet dancer or jazz.
Awesome. You sound like an interesting person.
Yeah,
I'd like to hang out with. Just kidding.
I mean, we already do that, so.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. Thanks for sharing all of that. And so how long have you been vegan?
11 years. Or no, not 11. That's Fortune's age. No, I'm going off Fortune's age. 5 years?
Yeah, that sounds
So I was 9, something like that.
Since 2016.
So yeah, 9 years.
It's been a little over.
Not 9 years. 5 years. I'm sorry, I'm bad at math.
So about 5 years, right? And, we've shared that we were vegetarian for many years before that, virtually your whole entire life.
Yeah.
We went vegetarian when you were a baby.
Yeah, so 2 months old, something like that. So I've rarely ever, I don't think I've ever eaten meat in my life.
Yeah, you've never really had that experience. You've had the experience of being born vegetarian.
Yeah.
Right? Let me ask you, in your opinion, from your voice, why did you go vegan?
I wanted to go vegan for animals. Basic line, I didn't like how animals were being treated. As I grew older, I found out that it's healthier for you, and I want to have like the best stamina and athletic leave or whatever it is for dancing as I grew older. And then the environment is really bad. I'm not pointing any fingers.
Okay.
But yeah, there's the holes in the ozone layer and how the Amazon rainforest is shrinking smaller and smaller every day, and it's really scary that that's gonna be the world I'm gonna be in control of someday. My generation, my friends, we're gonna be the grown-ups, and we're gonna be leading it.
Yeah. So it's not because your parents like forced you to go vegan or something?
Yeah, no,
like
it was totally optional. And then like my brother, he was like basically crying to go vegan because he loves baby animals and animals in general. So it was really cool seeing my brother being so happy about being vegan and like knowing he's going to help people or help animals.
Yeah. And, you know, I've shared also that you've always been a voice for animals, even before, you know, when we were vegetarian or we were pescatarian for a while, we'd eat some fish. And you were, I remember, super young, reading the labels and telling us we need to buy dolphin-safe tuna and things like that. You probably don't even remember
I don't
that.
remember that. That's cool.
Or you would want us to pick the cage-free eggs or the free-range eggs because you wanted to try to help animals even then, even when you were young and didn't have all the information.
I never knew this. Why? What? Where? I never knew this.
Well,
That's
yeah,
cool.
I mean, you were really young. It's just part of who you are. You know, sometimes Fortune gets a lot of attention for being like the animal lover
Yeah.
in the family, which because he's, you know.
He's like the animal guy. He gets animal stuffies from everywhere. All the hikes that we go on, all the cool places we go see.
Yeah,
like
his love
thing.
for animals is really intense. But, you know, friendly reminder that yours is too as well.
Yeah.
So here's the question of the hour. As a super cool 14-year-old,
Yes.
do you think it's hard to be vegan?
No, actually, it's really easy at this day and age. You can go to any store, practically any store. You can go Walmart, Smith's, Albertsons. There's vegan options if you want to get like plant-based meat. You could also be like super duper healthy and go like organic, and that's really easy to find. It might be a bit expensive, but it's still really easy. It's not like you can change. You don't change a lot. Like you could go like meatless Mondays if you want to go slow. You know, like just PB&J. That's easy. You eat that all the time. Most chips are vegan.
Yep.
Oreos and desserts are vegan. Most desserts are vegan. You can find ice cream. It's really easy. So there's not a big price change.
Yeah,
either.
A lot of people forget about PB&J. And when they say it's so expensive to be vegan, what do people eat when they're super broke? PB&J. So cool. Those are good points. What about when you're like hanging out with your friends?
Well, I mean, just ask for a carrot stick. Most kids carry carrot sticks or stuff. Yeah, it's easy. There's like, oh, those are Cheetos. I can't have those. Oh, you got Lay's. Oh, those are vegan. Like, it's pretty easy. Or like most of my friends understand why I'm vegan, understand how I'm vegan. They understand. Sometimes they ask me questions about like, where would I get stuff like that? Or what stores do you go to? Sometimes I just help them give information. Sometimes I'm really subtle about it too. I'm like, I'll walk in with like some really cheap like snack or whatever that's like really easy to, like a Skinny Pop. Those are vegan. Like the white cheddar and stuff like that. I'll be super subtle about it. And my friend's like, oh, I didn't know that was vegan. I'm like, oh yeah, it's vegan. It's really cool. It's really tasty. You should check it out.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's like your little sneaky activism.
Yeah. You didn't see anything.
It sounds like, vegan foods just pop up naturally everywhere you're at, basically.
Yeah. I could ask all my friends foods they eat and tell them if it's vegan or not. Like regular day-to-day meals. Or like stuff in their meals, like baked potatoes. Just take out the cream cheese, and it's vegan. It's really easy.
So it's actually really easy, you find it?
It's extremely easy.
Right. For me, one thing that makes it easy is that the movie theaters have vegan popcorn.
Yeah, most of the butter flavor is just artificial.
Right. You were saying sometimes your friends ask you questions. Do you feel like people kind of almost like put you in the hot seat and like ask, grill you with questions like, but why? But what about this?
Yeah,
but
sometimes I get like acquaintances ask me, or like some friends that are like, and they ask questions like that. But sometimes it's like, well, but why? And sometimes the but puts me off because it's like it's implying something, implying that they don't want their parents to be wrong, or like they don't want other people to be wrong sometimes, or like they don't want to be wrong. That's what I kind of get the vibe from whenever they grill me. So I just sort of forgive them, and I still answer their questions. Try not to be super sassy about it, but you can put a little sass into it.
You sound like your mother. When we did the episode about how to answer questions, the common questions that you get, and she kind of basically said the exact same thing. Like, try to be kind, be kind and compassionate. And you could put a little sass in it. Depending on who you know, right? If it's like somebody you don't know, or depending on who it is. If it's
you got to know, and
a
also
teacher or somebody.
Yeah, don't do it to
you
an
might
adult,
not throw
or
some
like
sass in there, right?
Yeah, like if you're a kid, don't put sass like at an adult.
I like how you shared that sometimes it's just people not wanting their parents to be wrong, or not wanting others to be wrong. I'm not sure what else you said there, but just thinking about where other people are coming from can help you be patient
or
and
compassionate with them.
Exactly, right? Like, not everyone is just trying to be mean. Sometimes people are having trouble making sense of it in their mind, right? Or reconciling in their mind. Sometimes there's a lot of things. Maybe it even could be like some guilt, that comes into play.
And then it gets misread.
Right.
Their emotions get misread, or their expressions get misread sometimes.
Yeah, so that was really wise. Thank you for sharing that. Good friendly reminder. If people are grilling you, there might be lots of other things. And so how have you kind of prepared yourself for that, or have you handled that?
Sometimes I just have like some answers, or like sort of write them out in my brain and then have them stored for whenever it comes up. So like just have like random things like, why do you go vegan? Well, I like animals. I don't want to eat them. Or why are you vegan? I want to be healthy, and it's healthy for you, and it's healthy for the environment, and it's healthy for the animals. It's all about health.
Yeah.
Psychologically healthy as well.
Yeah. Expand on that. How is it psychologically healthy?
Well, you have a clear conscience. Nothing had to die for you to eat.
So it just feels good in that way.
Yeah. I think it's something like in your genes, like deep in like just the human instinct for me.
Okay. You feel like it's deep in who you are.
Yeah, like it's easier. I don't know where I was going with this.
But I was going to say it feels similar to what I've shared in the past about how it's become more of a spiritual practice than anything. I got first intrigued by the health benefits, then started learning about the animals, and that became the primary thing, which is why I'll eat some unhealthy vegan food or some less healthy vegan food. But I'll never eat some, quote unquote healthy animal based food.
Yeah.
Right. But then it's morphed into this like spiritual practice. Like now it's part of my spiritual practice going along with other things that I do. So I feel like that's kind of along the same lines.
Yeah.
All right. So let me ask you this. Do you think it's important for other people to go vegan?
It would be preferable for as much people as possible to go vegan. It'd be it's the healthiest option for the planet.
So kind of the environment is on your mind a lot, right?
Yeah.
Like you mentioned before, because you have to kind of live here for a while.
Yeah, I mean,
theoretically,
I only have
you'd
a little bit of time left. I'd like to keep it.
Yeah, you'd like for you and your friends to inherit
a healthy world, or at least a healthier world.
Right, where the environment is livable and thriving.
Something that we could fix, make it better. But we need a little help from the older people.
Yes, definitely. So here's a big picture question I'm going to ask you.
Okay.
When you think about your future, what kind of world do you imagine living in?
I imagine a world where there's as much peace as possible among humans and animals, among humans and humans, where there's no system where some people are better than other people. There's no system where one person is the best or the richest or I imagine something like we could change as much as possible for the benefit of all, not just the benefit of like this selection or this neighborhood will get benefits and this neighborhood won't. I don't want that. Or like I want a solution that would help everyone, basically.
It sounds like what you were just talking about right now is a world that's more equitable.
Yes, equitable.
Yeah. Peaceful and equitable. That's kind of what I
Mhm.
was hearing in what you shared.
Yeah.
And I really like that. I think that's great. I think that's beautiful. Have you thought about what specifically could be done to create a more peaceful and equitable world?
Well, I mean, some of those richer people could help out poorer people and not hoard. Because usually in civilizations where rich people hoard money, it doesn't really work out for everyone else. We could have a better system if richer people could share the wealth and maybe, I don't know, buy a bunch of homes for homeless people and provide them with food or make better homeless shelters. Or people could be more open to homeless people.
Do you think that veganism will help create the world you want to live in when you're older?
Yes. Because when we can all work together after we forgive everyone, then we can start working together to help the world. One way would be veganism, because we're not mass producing cows, which would help decrease the greenhouse effect, and then we could help restore it. We could also, like, once we have an equitable world where everyone has better lives and we can have everyone at least in a home with food, then we could also start working on peace between countries. Like, we don't need countries competing in all these things. We don't need competitions, huge competitions like this. Like, it doesn't really make sense to me. Like, we don't need competitions like that. We don't need wars. We don't need to fight over land. Right? We only have a little bit left, so we need to figure it out. We only have a little bit left of living space to figure it out, so we need to stop fighting over it.
Right. And correct me if I'm wrong, but it sounds like you were getting at that. Like, it's hard to address these bigger issues when there's people who don't have food and shelter.
We need to take care of the little problems before we move on to the big ones.
Right, because these are like basic human rights, right? Like,
Totally.
food and shelter is not like a privilege or something that only certain people should be able to have, right?
Yeah. Like we
need to get there.
We need to get there first before we can work on the bigger stuff.
And do you think that there's a link? Sometimes I feel like opening up to the information of how animals are treated and, exploring what I can do to try to help that, I feel like it kind of opened up my compassion, my capacity for compassion, if you will.
Yeah.
I've seen a bumper sticker that says, when I went vegan, my heart grew 3 times that day, right? From the Grinch, like when he has his epiphany on the mountain and his heart grows. Sometimes I feel like that happens, when you go vegan, when you open up to these things.
Yeah.
Do you think there's some truth to that?
I think it makes you more aware.
Mm-hmm.
Most people don't have this awareness that things happen. I had a friend who didn't know that the greenhouse effect was on Earth. And when I explained it to him, he was like, wait, how do we fix it? How do we stop it? Because, like, that's going to mess up the whole thing. Because he's smart, but he didn't know it existed. And so there's a certain awareness that people need that I feel like we could share with people. And then, again, forgiving them for not knowing that it existed or, like, not knowing that you're contributing to it. Veganism helps open up the awareness, and then you could be more aware and then have a better understanding of what's happening. Most people would probably be more compassionate if they understood and knew how they could help or like understood like some struggles or whatever.
Yeah. I like your reminder for forgiveness because I like to remind people my age that none of us were born vegan.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe an extremely small percentage, but let's be real. In the 80s and the 70s, most people were not vegan back then.
Yeah.
Raising vegan children, right? you had the experience of being born vegetarian, so
Yeah, I did.
but
So
even still, most people your age were not born vegan. You
Yeah.
weren't born vegan.
I wasn't born vegan.
And
yeah.
we've all been there and had that experience of not being vegan. So having patience, having compassion, having forgiveness, because maybe people don't know better.
Yeah.
And even when you do know better, you know, there's also cognitive dissonance where you learn something new, but your brain just freaks out about it and
Yeah.
just wants to like volley it back. Like that can't actually be real.
Yeah.
And so you have to go through that struggle to like come to the other side of,
Like, oh, this is real. We need to help fix it. We need to help somehow.
yeah. But sharing the information and the awareness is a really important piece. Is what you're
Maybe
saying.
even to start.
Right.
Like, that's how you could help someone start going vegan,
Mm-hmm.
or just help them be aware and then have them make their own decisions.
Right. So speaking of awareness and raising that awareness, do you have any vegan role models?
The guy who plays Doctor Strange, I mean, like, he plays Doctor Strange, so he's cool. So, I mean,
Mhm.
like, he's vegan.
Benedict Cumberbatch.
Benedict Cumberbatch. Yeah, I knew Benedict was one of the things, but he's not really a role model per se. I mean,
Other than
Doctor Strange is cool, so.
right. I mean, other than your fabulous parents, of course.
Yes, of course.
I feel like you're drawing blanks.
I know I am drawing so many blanks right now. I can't. I'm only thinking of actors and actresses. I mean, what's the actor for Cher from Clueless?
Alicia Silverstone.
Yes, she's vegan and she was fabulous. She was better than fabulous. She was fantabulous in that movie.
Right.
So, I mean, she gets kudos for that.
Mm-hmm. And she's been doing the work of raising the awareness
yeah, she
for
has.
decades. She's been
Mm-hmm.
on the forefront of this for a long time.
Totally. Is Snoop Dogg low-key vegan?
Yeah,
Yeah, Snoop Dogg is a low-key vegan, and then he's
I
a
think
cool
so.
rapper.
He doesn't like say he's vegan, but he promotes Beyond Meat like every time I turn around, he's doing some Beyond Meat thing or
Jaden
some
Smith is
guest
vegan,
celebrity.
right?
Yeah, Jaden Smith.
Smith and Will Smith, they're both.
Jaden Smith.
Jaden Smith is vegan. He's cool.
Yeah,
I like some of his music.
you look
and
up to him.
He I do martial arts. I do karate, and what got me into karate was his Karate Kid.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yep. Opened a whole new world for you. And now you're second degree junior black belt.
yeah,
Right.
So,
And, you know, he's actually doing some really great advocacy work,
Mm-hmm.
intersectional work, because earlier you were talking about, you know, getting people shelter and food.
yeah,
And Jaden Smith has opened food trucks.
yeah. For
Vegan food
food
trucks.
trucks for homeless people.
Right.
He spent his birthday doing that one year.
Mhm. And he's opened a few since then. And I think the most recent story that I saw was that he was opening a restaurant,
Oh,
like a straight up
yeah.
vegan restaurant for homeless people.
That's awesome.
Like to just serve people.
Just serve people.
Right.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So beautiful work there by him. And then this person, I'll bring up somebody. He's more of like my
Mm-hmm.
role model, but I think
Okay.
you kind of look up to him.
Go
He's
ahead.
Stick.
Oh
Stickman.
yeah, Stickman. Yeah, I like him.
You enjoy his music, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Why didn't I think of him immediately? I want to think of him immediately whenever I hear that he's or remember that he's vegan. Like
Right.
I need him to be like the main guy that I think of.
Right. Or Gray,
Yeah, he's cool.
Mr. Plant-Based Drippin'.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's got that vegan Thanksgiving.
Anyway, there's a lot of other celebrities that are making plant-based shifts,
Yeah.
you know, and I think that helps spread the awareness and the message as well. For example, you know, Lizzo
Yes.
is on the plant-based or the vegan tip these days.
Okay, she's one of the greatest
She's amazing, right?
people ever.
Yeah. Other celebrities that are doing the plant-based shift or advocating for plant-based diets include Jay-Z and Beyonce.
Yes, I want to remember about them too because they're both really amazing people.
Right.
Yeah.
Actually, I think there's a lot of people that we both look up to. We kind of share some role models or just, you know, people that we admire.
Mhm.
So another one is Mayim Bialik, Amy Farrah Fowler.
I did not know that. Okay, cool.
You didn't know she's vegan?
I did not know that.
And
That's
she's
awesome.
a pretty big advocate, too.
I think I did know that because in one of the Big Bang episodes, she was using Earth Balance butter.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there was one episode, but they had it turned so you couldn't see the logo. But I know it because I'm a butter snob. I'm the butter snob in the family.
He is.
I've
He is.
The Earth Balance is the best and the cheapest vegan butter. Or
When
not the cheapest, but it is the best middle price.
I think we mentioned that on an episode. Like whenever we buy the Country Crock, you like get all deflated.
It's still good though.
Yeah,
it's still good. But yeah, I remember.
But you just really love the Earth Balance.
The Earth
and so
Balance
you
is
spotted
so
it.
good.
Yeah. Oh, good eye. You're gonna have to tell me which episode that is. And then speaking of, you were mentioning Benedict Cumberbatch earlier, the Avengers. Chris Hemsworth, his sort of
brother.
Yeah, his brother's vegan.
His
Liam
brother's
Hemsworth.
vegan. Yeah.
And Chris, has been on a plant-based shift, kick, whatever
Yeah.
you might call it, and said
cool.
it helped him keep his Thor physique.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, I knew that you had a couple people that you did admire, kind of look up to. That, so I just wanted to jog your brain, ask if you had any vegan role models, other than me, of course.
Of course. And don't forget about Mom. Excuse me. Of course.
All right, let's just have fun for a minute or
Okay.
two.
Okay.
And tell me, what are your favorite foods?
Okay, so I have a lot. We're gonna spend it not 2 minutes, not one. We're gonna spend probably 5 minutes.
Okay, tell me.
Okay, so I really like burritos.
Mm-hmm.
I really like burgers. Beyond Burgers are the best. I make them with like pickles and then onion and then barbecue sauce, and it's so good. I like enchiladas, usually red chili enchiladas.
Mm-hmm.
I like rellenos. I like a lot of New Mexican food, basically.
Mm-hmm. Naturally.
Naturally.
Natch.
I like an ingredient I like is tomato sauce. The Trader Joe's basil tomato
Oh,
sauce.
marinara sauce.
Marinara sauce, yeah, whatever.
You
it goes
love that stuff.
It goes good on pizza. It goes good on pasta. It goes good. I want to say pizza again.
Did I mention pizza?
Did I mention pizza? I really like pizza. Speaking of pizza,
Mm-hmm.
Another ingredient that I really like for foods that I would put on a lot of things is Daya cheese, usually cheddar.
Mm-hmm.
I really like cheese. And it's funny because when I was really young and I was vegetarian, for like 3 years, I so loved cheese. And then someday in preschool when I was like 3 or 4 years old, I stopped eating cheese.
Yep.
I did not like it. I hated it. The only things that cheese was good on was macaroni and cheese and pizza.
Right. But it was the weirdest thing. You would not touch like quesadillas or grilled cheese
None of it.
or anything. You despised it, actually. And if pizza was
And,
too
like-
cheesy, you would peel the cheese off.
Yeah, and I
You
give
like
it to
light cheese.
my brother.
Right. Light cheese on pizza. And mac and cheese, which isn't even real cheese. That's
It's
like
not real
some
cheese. Yeah. But like
pseudo cheese.
and then I stopped liking dairy, and then the only dairy that I would eat was like yogurt and then ice cream.
You've always disliked cow milk. You've never, ever
Yeah.
drinking it
And then
willingly.
and then when we started going vegan and we tried vegan cheese, I absolutely loved the vegan cheese. It's the best cheese. It's amazing. It's tasty. It melts and I don't know.
Yeah, it's so
I just
interesting.
love cheese after I went vegan.
Most people are the opposite. They like cheese and then they go vegan and they don't care for the vegan cheeses. You're the complete opposite. You've never liked cheese before. And now all of a sudden you want cheese on everything.
Cheese.
Yeah. So any other favorite foods you want to name drop? Well, it's interesting that you were mentioning ingredients because I was going to talk about, helping in the kitchen.
Yeah.
And do you help in the kitchen? Do you help cook?
I help. Well, most of the helping that I do in the kitchen is washing dishes. I'm the main dishwasher in our household.
All right.
But I
You're
do.
super good at it, by the way.
Thank you. I do help in the kitchen. Sometimes I'll make cookies.
Mhm.
I've made toast and cereal like Charlie Brown. I only know how to make and popcorn.
Fun fact, 1 year for our anniversary can I say this?
Yeah, go ahead.
This was about 6 years ago, I think. You were maybe 9 years old at the time. Teen wanted to make breakfast in bed for Mickey and I for our anniversary. And he literally made the Charlie Brown Thanksgiving meal and served it to us in bed. It was so amazing. One of the best things that's ever happened to me. And it was toast, popcorn, pretzels.
I think I put some goldfish or something like that. I
No.
put grapes. I remember grapes.
Oh, you
that's
added
one of-
grapes? It
one
was
of the-
literally whatever they make on that Thanksgiving, on that Charlie Brown Thanksgiving episode, plus grapes, I guess. Served in a bed, and it was amazing. But anyway, yeah, you're really good at baking cookies. You made the pumpkin pasta before.
Oh, yeah, I made pumpkin pasta. That was in one of the webinars my father has done.
Mm-hmm.
This is the part where you say that you could find the recipe somewhere on your website or whatever. This is where you do the slick advertising move.
And you can find that recipe on our website, apnm.org/recipes. You can also watch the cooking demonstration on our YouTube channel on our Pumpkin Everything webinar. And you helped us test run that recipe.
Yeah, I did test run it, and you can tell I liked it because I kept shoveling it in my mouth.
Yeah, and basically you can do anything that has a recipe, right? We can just give you a recipe and you can follow it.
I think I made tomato soup one day, and I can make grilled cheese.
Mm-hmm.
I make sandwiches a lot.
Egg salad.
I make egg salad and chickpea salad.
Quote unquote egg salad with tofu. Another recipe you can find on our website.
Yeah.
Carry on.
I can cut vegetables and stuff like that.
Right, basic stuff.
Basic stuff like that.
And I feel like you enjoy it.
Yeah, it's really fun. It's fun to make food. And then it's also fun to see my parents and my brother eat it, and it's really tasty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a fun experience, right?
Mm-hmm.
I like that. I appreciate that about you.
It's funny. Whenever my mom makes something and it's like, she can't find the salt, or like she puts a little too much salt, and like we just eat it and we like it and it's perfect, and my mom's like talking about how all the things she messed up. I'm like, it's fine, Mom, stop talking about it. But like I made really salty cookies one time and I kept talking about the salt, and I'm like, I'm such a hypocrite.
And we're like, it's fine, team, it tastes good. You're like,
hypocrite level 100.
All right, so one more question before we wrap it up.
Mm-hmm.
What advice would you give to someone your age who is interested in going vegan?
Find easy meals, or see if there's a meal that you enjoy that you can edit or cut things out or replace, and then make it vegan. Also consult your parents before you start making every meal in the house.
Okay. Yeah, because a 14-year-old, you have to work with your parents or your guardians to, try and make that shift. You can't really do it 100% on your own at your age, right?
Mm-hmm. And also remember, not everyone can just go vegan overnight.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think we went vegan overnight.
We kind of did. We were vegetarian first, but we did go vegan overnight because Fortune wanted to give our milk to a baby cow.
It was like 1/4 of a cup that he wanted to give to a baby cow. He was crying.
Right.
My dad walked in. He barely even set down his bags. Dad, can we give this milk to a baby cow?
Yeah.
And my dad's like, what did you do, Mom?
I didn't do that.
Well, not that, but I'm kind of paraphrasing here, okay?
We've shared that story, though.
Yeah.
We've shared that story before. So people do know, yeah, we basically did go vegan overnight.
Mm-hmm.
But it is, like you say, not everyone can do that. Because one, we were already vegetarian.
Yeah.
Two, your mom is an amazing cook.
She adapts very well.
3, I've spent a lot of time studying nutrition.
Mm-hmm.
So we had a lot of things kind of in our favor.
Yeah.
We didn't go from like the standard American diet to vegan overnight. Or we didn't go from limited knowledge and nutrition to vegan overnight. Or limited skills in the kitchen to vegan overnight. We had some things in our corner.
Yeah.
So that's a good reminder. Yeah, remember
you can't go vegan overnight.
So what other advice would you give someone your age who's interested in going vegan?
Don't just like, my friends are doing it, so I'm going to do it. That's like the same thing, like jump off a cliff. Like if your friends jump off a cliff, are you going to jump off or whatever? But like, do you have a reason for it? What's your reason? I would want to figure out a reason why you want to do it. And you could have multiple reasons. You could have one.
So like really get solid in your reason why.
Mm-hmm. Have a good, know what you're doing.
Okay, that's good advice.
And then don't take any from anyone. Like if someone's trying to throw dirt at you, just brush it off. Like like that Jay-Z song.
Okay.
Gotta get that dirt off your shoulder.
Mm-hmm. So you're preemptively preparing people for the fact that it's likely that they'll get some dirt thrown at them, or
there's gonna be people who don't agree with you.
Mm-hmm.
Until, like I said, we can forgive them or give them insight and awareness. Just try and be patient with them, but also don't take any of the stuff they said seriously.
Okay, yeah, don't take things personally,
and
just kind of brush it off.
Yeah,
I like that. Any final words of wisdom or things to share?
No, I don't think so. I think that's all.
All right. Yeah, you've shared plenty. You've shared a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you taking the time away from, your video games.
Well, I mainly have math on my mind right now.
Oh, yeah, you got to get back to your math work.
Yeah.
So thank you for taking a break from your math to
Mm-hmm.
do this and share your voice. It's really important and it's really powerful.
Thank you. Glad I could be a part of it. Glad I could help spread awareness.
Yeah, and hopefully, we'll have you on
Maybe I'll come
more
back.
in the future. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, everyone, for tuning in, as always, and we will see you next time. Thanks for joining us. We release new episodes every 2 weeks. You can always email us at plantbased@apnm.org. Check out our website, apnm.org/plantbased, for classes, recipes, and more resources.
See you in 2 weeks.